Hello and welcome back. This is a video which is a calculus tutorial on integration by parts. And this is part 4, and I'm going to show the example right here where I'm taking the natural log of x divided by x squared, take the integral of that. So actually this one isn't too bad. It looks a little bit intimidating. I'm going to ramp it up probably at the end a little bit, where I'm going to just show how, if you throw a variation on it, how does it affect your original problem. So again, let me write the original problem up here. The natural log of x over x squared dx. So this is an integration by parts problem, so you have to remember the original function for integration by parts, which is it's the integral of f of x times g prime of x dx equals f of x times g of x minus the integral f prime of x g of x dx. And so the part 1 of the video just explains where that came from, but this is the heart of integration by parts. So the challenge here is, can we select our f of x and our g of x well? Okay, so looks like if I select f of x equal to ln of x, that would mean my derivative, my f prime of x, would equal 1 over x dx, which I think is a good place to start. And then my g prime of x comes from right here, just because we selected it, is 1 over x squared, or also x to the minus 2. So now I need to take the integral of that to give me g of x. So if I just look at it and knock this down, I wind up getting negative 1 over x, or x to the negative 1. Negative. There. So let's work forward based on that and see what happens. So I have the integral ln x squared dx equals, then I go to my formula, ln x, and then I need to multiply it by negative 1 over x as my g of x, minus the integral, so I'm just looking at here, 1 over x, and then my dx, I'm just going to put out here real quick, and then I'm back to this one, it's negative 1 over x. Here's my g of x. Okay, so I'm going to clean up, do a little bit of house cleaning or housekeeping first. So this is just going to be negative ln x over x, and I got a minus and a minus, so plus integral of 1 over x squared dx. Okay, so if you look, that's the same function I have here, so which makes things nice because I already know what the integral is, and that is a minus 1 over x, is that here. My first part is still there with the negative, and then plus a constant at the end. So that is pretty straightforward. Now what happens next if I, let me see, instead of having ln x, let me do ln x squared. I'll square the whole thing, and I'll put that on the next board, and we'll see how that works out. Okay, so I want to do ln x, but I want to square the whole thing. And then I want to take x squared at the bottom, dx. So let's let's make the same choices here where f of x equals, and instead it's going to be ln x squared. So f prime of x is going to be equal to 2 ln x times 1 over x dx. And then g of x and g of x prime. The g of x prime comes right from the original equation where we have 1 over x squared. G of x is going to be the same as the last run, negative 1 over x, and then we'll start filling things into the problem. So I'm going to have ln x squared over x squared dx equals, go to the function, first part of it, and I will have ln x squared over x with a minus, and then I have the integral, and I need to go to this guy right here. So it's going to be 2 ln x times 1 over x. I'm going to leave a little bit of space for my dx over here, and then I need to grab this g of x here. So minus 1 over x is my g of x. Okay, let me do a little bit of housekeeping here. ln x squared x, and then I'm looking for constants and things. I got a negative here, I can change that to plus. I can pull the 2 out, do the integral, and I can have ln x over x squared dx. If you remember from the problem that I just solved, right there, we already know that answer. That one is equal to, let's see, negative ln x over x minus 1 over x. So that is that first answer there. So now we can just plug what we got from the first run into the second run right there, which makes things really, really nice. So I'm going to take this part of the equation, rewrite it down here, ln x squared over x, and then I'm going to say plus 2 times negative ln x over x minus 1 over x. That just, whole thing gets multiplied by 2. I got to add my constant at the end, and that is the answer to ln x squared over x squared. So, not too bad. It was very nice that it worked out that I was able to do that. So anyway, just a couple examples to help move you along, hopefully getting you feeling comfortable on integration by parts. Maybe a few more of these integration by parts examples, and we have to get into some trig functions after that. So pay attention and good luck with that. Subscribe to the channel so you can see when I post new videos. And anyway, I hope this helps.